I think we're ready to go.
Okay.
Isidra, is that how you pronounce it?
Isidra, yeah.
Isidra, where are you from, by the way?
El Paso.
El Paso, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I know that's a weird question to ask military, but I ask it all the time anyway, you know what I mean?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, we're always bouncing around and stuff. Okay, so got you on the Spouse Spotlight. Thank you very much for showing up and being here today. So what we're talking today about is women's sports. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Grafenwoehr and Vilseck women's sports.
Yeah, why don't we just jump right into it? So just tell me who you are and what you do and when you got to Germany, that type of stuff, and then a little bit about the program.
Okay. So my name is Isidra Alger. We got here in 2018. So we've been here for a minute. So in 2018, without a car, job, and everything, I, like a lot of other spouses, kind of was lost and intimidated by the culture and everything. So a young lady named Alex, she introduced me to sports out here. They had the soccer leagues, football leagues, volleyball leagues, and there was one more, basketball. And so I started playing. There was a young lady by the name of Stormy. She's the one that started it.
So we'll back up a little bit. So basically, you, like many spouses, like myself included, you come here, without a job, and without a lot of resources, without a lot of volunteers. It's not a huge city like Ramstein, where you have a bunch of people and a bunch of different things going on. So like the jobs are few and far between, and then like the activities you want to get involved with or you want your kids to get involved with are very slim. So it sounds like you met somebody, right, that was into sports, or was it just women's sports?
Yeah, so it's all female teams, and I don't want to say spouses because then that kind of deters a lot of the soldier females.
You're right.
But all female teams. Little did I know at the time that there was half of the players were soldiers. I always thought that they were just kind of spouses. Yeah, just with the mindset that females are just kind of not the minority or majority with the Army in general. But it was really nice. I met Alex. She introduced me to one of the teams, and then I just started playing. I wasn't very athletic as a kid. We didn't really do a lot of sports, so I came in without kind of any skill set as far as like the rules and everything. So that was really nice to learn over the years. I did play roller derby for a couple of years, but they don't have that down here in Graf. Unfortunately, the closest one is out in Nuremberg or Regensburg. So I started playing basketball, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. So in 2021, the gyms were allowing people to start up again. Of course, they had the COVID restrictions, and then we had to follow a bunch of paperwork. And somebody reached out to me and said, well, why don't you go ahead and start it? So in 2021, I said, all right, let's do it. Picked up with soccer, got in contact with the coaches and the gyms and everybody that I needed to. Reached out the best way that I knew how on the Facebook pages, because we do have a couple of Facebook pages for each of the sports. It all starts with Graf/Vilseck, and then women's sports, and then you would just kind of look up the sports that you want. So there's flag football, volleyball, basketball, soccer, and as of last year, we started softball. So we kind of go hand in hand with all the unit leagues, except for our teams are all females and all volunteers. So we aren't covered by anybody, no MWR. So we don't travel. Everything that we have in our groups are just women coming out, supporting other women, playing with other women for just that, for the sport, for family, for fun, for friends, for mental and physical health.
Perfect. So you guys have got a bunch of different sports for all the different seasons. And then how do people go online and like try to and like sign up for it?
Okay, so they can either email womensports21@gmail.com, and that's where I get all the rosters, information, questions from most of the teams. Right now, we're only on Facebook. I'm going to try to go on Instagram and all the other ones. I just don't have accounts, so I haven't started it. But right now it's on Facebook. And like I said, the Facebook pages are always called Graf/Vilseck women's, and then the sport that you would choose. And it depends on the season. So soccer season is summer, And then right now we have flag football, so that goes into fall. And then winter we have basketball, and then it rolls over into volleyball, which is indoor sports, and then softball, and then it starts all over again. So it's all year round with maybe 2 to 3 weeks in between. And the great thing is that I look at the training schedule and I go ahead and correlate for a lot of the block leaves so that we're not interfering with those big trip travel plans, Thanksgiving dates and stuff. I always take those out, so then that way everybody can do the sports and not have to worry about leaving their teams to go out and do stuff in Germany.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then right now, tell me how many different teams you guys have. How many people are actually are participating and volunteering right now?
Okay, so with Sabre Junction, a lot of my female soldiers actually left. So I want to say right now about 40% of the females that are playing are soldiers. So I'm down to 4 teams. Give or take each team or each season, I have anywhere between 4 to 6 teams with anywhere between 12 to 14. So over the last 3 years, I've gotten close to helping at least 1,000 women just coming out and doing the sports, not to include, their coaches and the families that they have supporting their wives and spouses out in the fields.
Yeah. No, I love this. I love this because you guys are thinking outside the box to try to get people to, have a little mobility, to have something to do, to get them excited about, being in the area, you know what I mean? And not having a lot of other opportunities outside of what's going on right there in the base.
Right.
So that's really cool. Okay, and then talk to me about the schedule. How often do you guys practice? How often do you have games? How does that work?
Okay, so for that, I let the teams dictate everything as far as their own schedules and practices. So they go ahead and they reach out to the women that they've created these bonds and become friends with. And then on the page itself, I pull more people in. The teams get together, they talk to their team members, they schedule around when and where they can schedule. So it's not mandatory. There are some teams that are a little bit more competitive. So then they, practice makes perfect with anything. So they kind of get on their player. So each player and individual gets to really choose what type of group they want to join, who they really want to hang out with. So it's not, we don't see any scouts out here or anything. It's merely just for fun. That's not to say that they aren't competitive in their own way and they don't get out there. I mean, we have some of the best females coming out here and really going out for the sport. And we have groups that have never touched the ball in the day of their life. They've never played softball. They've never done anything like that. We come together and we play. And I don't feel like any of the women that come out and they demean or belittle anybody that doesn't know the sport. They really give them the chance to learn from playing and practicing with them.
Good, yeah. And I would assume that after over time, you guys getting together, no matter what skill level you're on, that you guys are starting to become friends and probably hang out outside of the sports and whatnot. Is that true? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even the ones that don't. So not every team or not all, every female jumps onto every sport. So you do have a lot of the ones that play soccer come out and they support the ones that play flag football. And so they really do create this bond unlike anywhere else in Germany. Like you said earlier, and just like me, I came in with leaving my full-time job, leaving the house that, we had just bought, changing everything. When I first went to Weiden, I was terrified because I didn't know the language, and we actually turned around and left because we were just iffy about it. So finding these groups and really building those bonds and relationships is unlike anywhere else in the States, especially on other posts, because there isn't really another program out there like us because of the lack of volunteers, I feel.
Yeah, no, you're so right. You're so right. And this is a way for for you to, I feel like a lot of people come over here and they are too nervous to go outside to meet people, to learn the language, or to put themselves into the German culture and whatnot, you know what I mean? But when you get together with people at the base, it makes it, and you make friends with these folks, like it's easier for more than one person to get together and go and try new things, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
motivation thing, so, and I think it's super inspiring that you guys can like motivate each other to, like, you're here in Germany, like, go explore, you know what I mean? But do it together, have fun with it. It shouldn't be an intimidating thing. It shouldn't be something that you should be scared of to go outside of base and like get involved with what's going on with the culture just because you don't speak the language, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, and age and skill is really not an issue. So we take 18-year-olds and over. So I believe one of my oldest player is going to hit 50 soon. And one of my youngest players is 18. So all age levels, all skill levels, everything. Like, I just want to really pull from the community. And the goal here, for us at least, is for it to continue even after we're gone.
Yeah. And so tell me what has to happen in order for it to continue? Like, would you guys just need more volunteers? How does that work?
It would just be volunteers. I would love to get another 1 or 2 coordinators to come in and just volunteer their time to go ahead and, set up schedules, talk to the teams, coordinate with the gyms to make sure that the fields are down. I mean, there's a lot involved in it. Setting up the fields themselves, being there at least 30 minutes, going over the rules, because the units actually have a coaches and captains clinic that they have for each of the sports prior to it. And the great thing about the coaches and captains clinic is they sit down for a couple of days with them, and they're always posted through the MWR page, so that these players and coaches and whoever honestly can go out, attend these classes, get certified, and if they really wanted to use that certification, they could use it to get paid for the unit leagues. They could go to the high school and use that certification to do the high school sports or all over Europe. And when I first came, we were using volunteer referees. And so then that was one of the things that we changed. I started getting in contact with the certified coaches so they could come out. And myself, as much as I would love to join a team, I haven't joined a team if I was the coordinator solely because I don't want anybody to think that there was any kind of bias, having me on the team. So somebody that's willing to come out, kind of really watch those sports, maybe, switch out with somebody else if they have an interest in a sport themselves to go and play, and really just kind of take this throughout the years and continue to grow it.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's great. And I'll continue to push this so that people can learn more about it. And because I know there's every single month, there's new people coming over here, and they're always wondering about what activities they can get involved in and how they can meet friends quickly and all that type of stuff. This is a perfect opportunity, even if you're not good at sports, to like come out here, see the camaraderie, meet some cool people and take it from there. You know what I mean? So I always tell people, like, if you can't find a job over here, or if you don't want any of the jobs that are out there, then volunteer for something.
Right.
You may get your foot in the door for something else. You may meet friends, like-minded friends. You never know what kind of opportunities would come out of that. But volunteering is definitely something that I would get involved with, especially if you're brand new and you don't know where to start.
Well, so another thing, now that you bring up the volunteering aspect of it, because of the time and dedication that it really takes to make these things go, when I first started, I went ahead and talked to ACS so that I could create an OPOC. Well, I'm the OPOC for it currently, but it's the organization point of contact through VBIS. So we do have the opportunity to get volunteer hours, especially for the women that are looking to kind of boost up those resumes, or for the soldiers that are looking to get points for those promotions, or just to have as a something on the resume later on. Right. So I have right now like a ref line judges that they can go ahead. I have a coordinator spot that I can't give myself volunteer hours, but if somebody else were to come, I would love to give them volunteer hours for that. Photographer, I've had people come out, take pictures for us so that I could post on Facebook pages. And like I said, any of the coaches, the time that they're actually there coaching their teams, because they do spend a lot of time with these teams, they should be able to get those hours. And that's definitely something else that I really want to push so that I can help on all aspects.
No, that's super cool. Super cool. Okay. And so tell me again, you might've already said this, but where do you guys play at?
Okay, so recently and for the last couple of years, we have been playing at the Graf main gym. It's building 170. Most of our sports either take a place on the outside or the inside. It's a softball triplex. We do the soccer, the flag football, and the softball on the softball triplex. And then in the indoor sports, we have the basketball, volleyball. For the winter sports for the colder months.
Okay, so everything right now is on Grafenwoehr, yeah?
Right. I mean, if I were to move or if other things were to change, I would love to maybe take it to Vilseck. And so then that way I could grab more women from Hohenfels and Graf and everybody that's like willing to go, because I know Hohenfels is an hour or two away. It's a long drive. And then especially if you're coming all the way to Graf. That's just an idea for now. Everything's going to stay in the Graf area for the time being. The days that we play. So it's either a Wednesday or Thursday games or both. So it really depends on the amount of teams I have. The more teams I have, the more days we play. So if we have any more, like anywhere between 6 to 8 teams, and we really pull those numbers in, we play Wednesdays and Thursdays, because unit leagues on Graf play Mondays and Tuesdays. So it's kind of like, it rolls into their schedule really nice. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Thursdays. Right now the flag football is playing, and they just started their league last week. They'll be playing until the 23rd of October, the 19th of October, where the championships are. And then at the end of that, we'll have a couple of weeks in between, and then start basketball in November.
Okay, sweet. Well, cool. I mean, listen, I know there's not a lot to this, you know what I mean? But I wanted to get the main details about who you guys are, what you guys do, when you play, and how people can get involved in it. You know what I mean? So do you have anything else to add about the games or referees or getting involved or anything else that you want to?
No, I'm just kind of in a jumble, just trying to get everybody out. No skill level is too little or too much. No age is too difficult to play with. We did reach out, or a couple of homeschoolers did reach out to me. There are some young ladies that are 17 right now. As long as they have access to the gyms and they have that access to the fields and the gyms, 17-year-olds can't just go and use the gyms by themselves. They have to go and apply for it's a blue card. So then that way they're allowed to use the equipment without their sponsors there, but their sponsors also sign off on it to make sure that they are aware that and take responsibility for the child that is there. Okay. So if there are any like 17-year-olds, and that is the only exception, 17-year-olds that have access to the gym, that are homeschooled, that don't have other sports outside of, that homeschool community, they're also able to come in, but just a couple more processes and loopholes that they've got to jump through. But 18 and older, all ages, all skill levels, come out and support us.
Okay, cool. And would you say that the biggest issue right now for you guys is just the awareness, getting the awareness out?
Right. Really, I feel like there may have been, or there in the past, a kind of idea of what military spouses can be, and maybe they came from in a negative area where military spouses didn't connect and they really didn't talk, and maybe there was
sort of negative connotation towards it.
Right. And out here in Germany, I just kind of really want to get that idea that it's different here. It really is different here. I mean, families become closer together because they have their only support systems are now them, and friends can build this amazing bond because we're just such a small community. So I really want to, pull these women out and have them meet these friends and meet these people and learn these sports and just come out and really grow this as a community, especially for the females in our area.
Okay, cool. Well, look, I'll do the best I can to get it out so that people can learn more about it. And I appreciate you joining the call today. And if there's nothing else that you have, then we'll end it.
No, that is it. Thank you so much for contacting me. Hopefully you know, we don't have any scheduling issues if you'd like to do this again.
Yeah, no, we'll be good. Well, that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Have a great night.